There are a ton of holiday gift guides out there, and the reason for that is because guys are inherently tough to shop for. Either they're super into a hobby and they know all the specifics, and it'd be tough to research what they like and then get them exactly what they're looking for, or they're too busy, so something you might get them might end up not getting used for a long time or ever. There's a number of reasons why men are tough to shop for, especially for the holidays. But I would like to submit, as a leather crafter myself, somebody who frequents and sells his goods at the farmer's market, at craft markets, that a handmade good is the best choice for those guys that are hard to shop for the holiday season. Now, handmade goods are going to be unique. They're one of a kind. If you choose the right maker, crafter, creator, whatever you want to call it, if you choose the right person that you know puts out quality goods, it's going to be an heirloom good. It's going to last forever. And the quality is going to be through the roof, bespoke, handmade, hand stitched, all these things that you hear the big companies say about their goods and what they'll put as good qualities on their branding. Those are the things that you could be certain come inherently with handmade goods that you get either from somebody local to you or from somebody that you've found in a niche community online. Just like there's a ton of reasons why it's hard to shop for men, those are just some of the reasons why getting something handmade is probably the right choice, even if it's a duplicate to something they already have. And speaking of duplicates to something they might already have, the reason that will work out with a handmade good is that even if they have something like a field book cover, a notebook cover, a toiletry bag or dob kit, or a cigar case, which is what I'm about to get into, even if they already have those things, if they have those purchased from maybe Amazon or a big company, if you get them a handmade version from somebody you trust of the same thing, they're going to appreciate that thing. They're going to notice the details. They're going to notice the quality. And even if they don't notice all that, the fact that it's going to last forever and it's going to get better with time, more than likely patina, is going to ensure that it becomes their favorite of that product. So, for example, this is a leather cigar case that I make. This is a cigar case that holds 3 cigars of different sizes. Inherently, because of the design of it, it holds 3 cigars of different sizes. It's got a place for a cigar cutter or small cigar scissors. It's got a pocket up here up front for either cash folded or a challenge coin, so that it's always with them when they go to the cigar lounge or when they're going on a weekend away. And that is only the beginning of what this has to offer. Those are just the features of it. It's got 2 pockets and it holds 3 cigars, roughly under 54 ring gauge right in there, 54 or under. So that's what I designed it to do. But inherently, because this is a handmade product, I can tell you a lot more about this. For example, we'll start off with the leather. The leather that I used on this is Wickett & Craig traditional harness buck brown. Wickett & Craig is an extremely well-known, extremely proficient tannery out of the United States, and they have a bunch of great colors and great finishes. And this right here is one of their most popular, the buck brown color in their traditional harness tanning process. And this type of leather is the type of leather that Filson uses, Nick's Boots uses. Wickett & Craig is well known, and that's what you're getting with a crafter that knows what they're doing and knows what to purchase. You're getting top of the line materials. Aside from the leather, I use Buckle Guy's all brass magnetic snaps. I've got Ritza Tiger waxed thread on here, and those are all put together in a way that a machine can't do. Big companies would not necessarily be able to put this out. On the pockets, I used a classic for leather crafting, a classic stitch called the saddle stitch. On the sides, in order to bring all the pieces together, I used a baseball stitch, and both of those stitches, the saddle stitch and the baseball stitch, are stitches that machines can't do. Sewing machines have not been developed that can pull off the saddle stitch and the baseball stitch. So right there, you're talking about a handmade good right off the bat, no matter what, just because of the stitching alone. Every time one of these stitches catches their eye, they're gonna know that me, personally, I went through and I was stitching every single one of these stitches. I pulled the thread through every single one of these holes, and I made sure that it was locked in tight and that this is something that's gonna last forever. That's just not something you're gonna get from the big companies. You might be able to get these materials, these top of the line materials from big companies like I mentioned earlier, but this is a hide that I bought, and every single one of these that I made, I used the same 2 hides in order to fill this order. And speaking of the order that I filled for this specific cigar case that was designed specifically for the order so that you can't really get it off of Amazon or in any other store, really. This is me, I designed it, so I'm the only one that makes these, and I'm the only one currently that you can order these from. That's one piece of buying handmade goods that you have to take into account. The person that ordered these from me is an awesome guy named Guy Wasco. He owns Three Kings Cigar Company, and he put in a decently large order, at least for me, a big order for these cigar cases right here. He put in an order for cigar cases, and then he gave me a lot of latitude to design it how I wanted it to be based on the simple requirements that he gave me. And that's one key thing, is this was designed by me, and it was designed to meet the needs or the desired specification requirements of the person that ordered it. And he was able to talk to me directly. Guy also gave me plenty of time, and it is going to take a lot of time. If you're ordering a handmade good, it's going to take a lot of time for that order to be fulfilled, more than likely a little bit longer than you think might be, because there's a lot of things that go into it. The leather, the thread, the buckles, the stamp that is a custom stamp that had to be ordered, made, and sent out. There's also the time it takes for me to put this together and all the possible things that could go on while I'm making it, and me leading my life. That might take me a while to fulfill the order. And Guy was super understanding about that. And not only that, he put his order in with plenty of time so that he could get these out to all the people that he wanted to have these for the holiday season, and that he could have them available for anyone that wants to purchase them from him before the holidays. And that's the right move. Guy also did the right thing, in my opinion, because he ordered something that probably all of his buddies that are into Three Kings cigars, all those guys probably already have cigar cases. But he knows that a handmade cigar case is something a little bit different. It's unique. These things are going to patina like crazy. We already worked together, and he had me put a little bit of patina in here, and I was able to leverage the temperature of the water that I was using when I wet molded these cases. I was able to leverage some of the different materials, like I put the cigar cutters in there while they were wet molding so that they could add a little bit of patina. And that's just the start. These things are going to patina over time like crazy. Again, because this is such good leather, it's going to start to show character where it's rubbing against the leather. Whatever cutter the user decides to put in here over time is going to start putting some character onto this, and it's going to become their own, and it's going to look better and better and better. It's going to be an heirloom cigar case. I mean, it already kind of looks like an heirloom cigar case because of the way that Guy and I designed them, but this thing is truly going to develop custom character over time that is unique to the individual that uses it. I think I could say 100 more things about this cigar case because I designed it. I have a passion for leatherwork and cigars, and the fact that I was given the latitude to design a handmade, hand-stitched leather cigar case ensured that there was passion in this project. And that's what Guy's getting. Guy's getting a order that's going to be fulfilled, and every single one of these cases that he's getting was made with passion. And that is something that's going to be tough to get from bigger companies. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I mentioned Filson earlier. I mentioned Nick's Boots, both huge companies that use Wicked and Craig leather. There's a good chance you're getting a great product out of those companies, but you're also getting a great product out of me, Bearded Moon. And I promise you, I stitched every single one of these stitches myself. I pulled it myself. I set these snaps, these magnetic snaps. I set all the placement for all these pockets. I did all that. And I did it because I was passionate about this project. And I'm almost sad that the project's over and that I fulfilled the order. And that is my submission to you for all these gift guides that you're seeing. It's all great products. I've watched a ton of the gift guides this year. They're all great products, like I said. But I will submit that you could also consider handmade goods. You could go to your local farmer's market, you could go to the craft shows, and you can also find a maker that has the passion that you might be looking for, or even more simple than that, because passion is hard to define, but also has the products that you're looking for. If you're looking for a knife, a custom knife, you can find a good knife maker that makes knives that look the way you want them to look. You can find a leather maker that makes sheaths for knives, and the sheaths look the way you want them to look. You can find someone that works with clay that can make the perfect mug or ashtray. There's pen makers out there, all sorts of makers. So that's it. That's my submission. That's my gift guide while you're out there buying awesome gifts and presents for everyone over the holiday season. If you're looking for something unique, something quality, and something with a ton of character, you could also try to go to some of the local markets and pick up something handmade. And now that's my last important note is at this point in the year, if you're trying to get in before Christmas, more than likely you're going to have to buy what's on that maker's table. It's probably a little bit too late to order something custom at this point, but we got Father's Day and birthdays on the horizon. So keep that same thing in mind. Handmade goods, even if they're duplicate to something that they already have, might be the exact way to go. And that's it from me. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope you guys all have a great time buying gifts and receiving presents over the holidays. And I will talk to you next time. I'll be back soon with some more content. Have a good one.